Welcome to another episode on our channel. This is Vincent van Gogh. I actually used the head of a Confederate soldier made by Qorange, a new company that has made at least, I don't know how many figures, but Confederate as well as Union soldiers and so forth. This head definitely reminded me of Vincent van Gogh, even to the blue eyes that he possesses. So I decided to create Vincent van Gogh, who led a very interesting life, one of the most famous post-impressionistic painters that we know of. He made depending on what source you consult, between 860 to over 900 oil paintings in his lifetime, 2,100 pieces of artwork, could be charcoal, different mediums of creating artwork, but oil paintings, he only sold one in his lifetime. He was born in the Netherlands. His father was a minister, his mother an artist. He was the eldest of 6 children. One older brother had died in childbirth. He was actually died as a stillborn. He was named after that boy. So, I guess his life started in tragedy and ended tragically as well. Never married, was in love several times, was rejected several times, went through bouts of depression and so forth, and was committed several times. The last time he was committed, he produced that painting that we're all familiar with, this painting here, Starry Starry Night. Don McLean, a musician, wrote a song that you probably have heard of. It's called, well, it's not called Starry Starry Night, but that's in the chorus. It's actually entitled Vincent. He wrote the song about Vincent after reading a book about his life and so forth. He was so impressed he wrote this song. And even though he named the song Vincent, we know it as Starry Starry Night. It's just an awesome song. Just like American Pie is an awesome song by Don McLean, who was kind of commemorating the lives of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, who died in a plane crash. A lot of controversy around this gentleman as well. The earlobe that reportedly was cut off by Van Gogh, it was just the earlobe, lower part of the ear, not the whole ear, number one. And additionally, there are some historians who believe that he lost the ear via sword after a fight with Paul Gauguin, another famous French artist of the time. And even his suicide at 37 is questioned because at the time, the bullet entry was in a weird place. If you're trying to commit suicide, you would shoot yourself in the chest, but the bullet went into his left abdomen. And so there was no accounts of powder burns or anything like that on his hands, nothing of that sort. And when the police questioned him, he said, "Don't accuse anybody, it's my life to take," So it's almost like you don't know the whole story there, So some people have kind of studied older accounts and suspected that some younger men who were drunk perhaps accidentally shot him, but he was okay with leaving this earth. He led a very troubled life with bouts of depression and so forth, but left a countless number of valuable pieces of artwork. And again, probably the most famous post-impressionistic painter that we know of to this day. His fame actually occurred 5 years after his death, unfortunately. his paintings were beginning to sell then. But he did a lot of blue and yellow paintings, as I mentioned before, and that's why he is in blue today. So anyway, just interesting information. I don't think we'll ever know the full story about this gentleman, but he left an indelible mark in the art community. So we'll pause now and get him on a turn tray so we can see him from different angles. If I had had a yellow shirt, I would have put it on him because his paintings, I'd noticed with a lot of his paintings, bright blue and yellow, he seemed to be very fond of those two colors. So I definitely wanted him with the colors I had that kind of lined up with his paintings, or a number of his paintings. So he is in blue. So we'll just kind of go around and see him from different angles. So we know a lot about him, but we don't know much about him. That's probably the end line there. So we'll pause now and get some tighter shots from here on up. He had a close relationship with one of his sisters, but I think his closest relationship was with his youngest brother, the youngest in the family, Theo. Theo really looked out for his brother and took care of him financially, as did the sister-in-law. She stayed engaged with him throughout her life and kind of promoted his artwork after he died. Theo died shortly after Vincent died, 6 months later. So very tragic story. I really like this head because of the intensity of the eyes. I imagine that really describes Vincent van Gogh well. He was intense. There you go. I'll leave in the description links to his life history as well as the song Vincent that most of us know as Starry Starry Night. It's just a very touching song. I hope you've liked what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.